Imagine losing the only roof over your head, with nowhere to go, facing cold rains and an uncertain future. That was the harsh reality the Cross family confronted when their worn-out trailer was destroyed, leaving them on the brink of homelessness. But just when their hope seemed to fade, an unexpected hero stepped in, basketball star Caitlyn Clark, and what she did next captured the hearts of many. So what was this incredible act of kindness? Let's dive into this moving story of compassion and resilience. Dustin Cross, a dedicated father, lived in a modest trailer in Indianapolis, Indiana, with his 3 children, Megan, AA, and Eli. Despite their humble home, the Cross family was full of love and energy, united by a shared passion for basketball. They spent time bonding through school and church tournaments, and never missed out on family traditions like game nights, Sunday dinners, and summer vacations. But behind the laughter, their home was crumbling. The trailer, their sanctuary for years, had fallen into a state of disrepair. Its once bright walls were now faded and cracked, and the floors groaned underfoot. Despite their efforts, the family couldn't afford to fix the worsening conditions. The threat of homelessness became a painful reality, and Dustin, who had gained custody of his children in 2018, was crushed by the thought of his kids being teased for not having a stable home. In 2021, the unthinkable happened. The Cross family's trailer was completely destroyed in a devastating fire. Everything they owned went up in flames, leaving them in shock and despair. With no insurance, no savings, and nowhere to turn, they were left scrambling to piece their lives back together. Dustin's income barely covered daily expenses, let alone the cost of rebuilding a home. Suddenly, the future of his children's education seemed uncertain, and the basketball activities they loved became an unattainable luxury. The family found themselves drowning in hopelessness. Forced to move from one rental to another, the Cross family's life was marked by constant upheaval. Each move disrupted their routines, robbed them of security, and filled them with the fear of never finding a permanent home again. Rising rent costs only worsened their anxiety. Determined to provide his children with some stability, Dustin applied to Group 101, a program designed to help families on the brink of homelessness find permanent housing. With the support of a budget coach, he worked hard to rebuild their financial situation. Though this offered a sliver of hope, the Cross family still longed for a miracle. And that miracle arrived in the form of Caitlyn Clark. Known for her brilliance on the basketball court, Clark had made her mark as one of America's top players, representing the Indiana Fever in the University of Iowa. With titles such as NCAA Division, all-time leading scorer, Big Ten Player of the Year, and 2-time National Player of the Year, her athletic achievements were legendary. But what few realized was that her kindness and compassion off the court were just as powerful. Caitlyn Clark wasn't just celebrated for her basketball talent. She was also deeply admired for her dedication to helping those in need. Her commitment to making a difference had become a major part of her life as she poured her energy into philanthropy through her foundation and various charitable initiatives. Caitlyn's mission was to uplift struggling families, advocate for education and healthcare, and empower young girls through sports. Her generosity was as remarkable as her skills on the court, and for the Cross family, her kindness would prove to be truly life-changing. When Caitlyn heard about the Cross family's dire situation, she knew she had to step in. Partnering with Group 101 and Habitat for Humanity, she made it her mission to build the family a new home. This wasn't just a gesture of charity, it was a second chance at life. The day Caitlyn arrived with Indiana Pacers player Isaiah Jackson and other volunteers, the Cross family was overcome with emotion. Dustin and his children were greeted with warmth, compassion, and the promise that their lives were about to take a brighter turn. Tears filled their eyes as they realized their long journey of hardship was nearing an end. Construction began right away, with Caitlyn and the volunteers rolling up their sleeves to lend a hand. But they weren't just building a house, they were rebuilding hope and restoring the family's sense of stability. Caitlyn's thoughtfulness didn't stop there. Knowing how much the family loved basketball, she ensured that a custom-built basketball hoop was installed as a special gift for Eli, the youngest Cross child. For Eli, an avid basketball fan, having a hoop at home was a dream come true. Caitlyn and Isaiah even played a few games with the children, filling the day with laughter and creating memories the family would treasure forever. Caitlyn Clark's act of kindness extended far beyond just providing shelter. For Dustin and his children, the new home symbolized safety, stability, and a future free from the uncertainty of homelessness. Thanks to Caitlyn's generosity, the Cross family no longer had to fear where they would live. They could now build a life filled with security and hope for the years to come. Caitlyn Clark's incredible generosity gave the Cross family a chance to rebuild their lives and face the future with renewed hope. When they asked how they could possibly repay her, Caitlyn's answer was simple: keep the kindness going. She encouraged them to help others in need, just as they had been helped. This message struck a chord with the Cross family, who promised to pay it forward whenever they could. To top off the day, Group 101 gifted the family courtside seats to an Indiana Fever game, along with hats, shoes, shirts, and other gear from their favorite team. Things continued to improve for the Cross family. Dustin, who had been struggling to find stable work, secured a job as an inventory manager at Lacoste, marking a major turning point. Life was finally looking up for them, and it was all thanks to Caitlyn Clark's selfless act of kindness. Caitlyn's involvement with the Cross family was just one example of her unwavering dedication to helping others through her foundation and partnerships with organizations like Hoops for Hope and the Coralville Community Food Pantry. Her impact extends far beyond housing support. She is deeply committed to raising funds for cancer research, organizing basketball clinics for underprivileged girls, and providing essential resources to struggling families. One of her most notable contributions was a $22,000 donation to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Iowa. Caitlyn Clark has also collaborated with Nike to provide winter gear and sports equipment for youth, distributing over 85 hoodies, 75 pairs of gloves, 57 basketballs, and more. Her contributions amounted to over $113,000 in retail value, further underscoring her commitment to uplifting others. It's no surprise that Caitlyn has received numerous accolades for her philanthropic efforts, including the prestigious NCAA Community Service Award and the WPCA Soaring to New Heights Award. Time and again, she has demonstrated that her achievements on the basketball court are matched only by her compassion and desire to improve the world around her. Thanks to Caitlyn and the volunteers from Group 101 and Habitat for Humanity, the Cross family now has a home to call their own. Construction is set to be completed in the fall, and the family eagerly awaits the day they can move in and begin creating new memories together. With Dustin now employed and feeling optimistic about the future, he is filled with gratitude. His children, who once faced uncertainty and despair, now have a stable environment where they can grow, learn, and thrive. The newly installed basketball hoop stands as a powerful symbol of their resilience and a reminder that kindness and compassion can truly transform lives. As the Cross family prepares for their big move, they carry with them the valuable lessons Caitlyn imparted: pay it forward, lend a hand to others, and never lose hope. Their journey is a testament to the strength of community, the significance of giving back, and the profound impact that one person's generosity can have on an entire family.
Is there a world where the Indiana Fever are just trying to keep their core together? Some of them are going overseas, so maybe in this scenario,